The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present. You're supposed to be showing me a picture here, and or future. Come on. I know you're streaming. There we go. Good evening. My name is Ron Juggett, and we've had ourselves a heck of a day today. At 11:45 this morning, I was setting up this very stream for our YouTube Game of the Week to go live at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. And then the drilling began again. And so we're late. I think I've explained this a couple times to you before. They are putting in a new fire alarm system in my apartment building. And obviously, safety issues being what they are, that is much more important than me playing a baseball game from 1988 while you guys eat lunch. But it was aggravating me because we were all set and ready to go. I hadn't loaded up the game, I had created the stream and all that, when we got noised out. Because if you were with us when we did a Red Sox Royals doubleheader, that stuff going on, you get a headache from it, which is where we are. So we moved to, how you doing? And I haven't forgotten you, Patrick, about what you've asked for. We will get that to you after I'm done with this. So here's where we are. This is our YouTube Game of the Week for baseball. It is July 23rd, 1988. It is a Saturday afternoon in Oakland. The A's have played a bit better since that egg they laid the last time they were on the stream. They're 3.5, or they've gained a few games on Minnesota. They are still well behind, but they're 56-41. And today they're going to go with Todd Burns, who is looking for his first win of the year. The Tigers, playing game number 94 at 50-43, are only 3.5 behind the Red Sox, who did fire John McNamara after his dugout fight with Roger Clemens. And they're going to go with Frank Tanana this afternoon. A beautiful day here in Oakland, 65 degrees, winds right to left at 9. So that's the setup for you. So it's Frank Tanana, who at this point in his career is much more of a pitcher than a thrower, against the relatively young Todd Burns, as the Oakland A's just kind of do what they have to do to try to get themselves back in the race here in the American League West. It's a big one here in the American League. It's live. It's yours. It's right now. As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 1988. Today from the Oakland Alameda Coliseum in Oakland, California, it is the Oakland Athletics against the Detroit Tigers. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalAdice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Can I say that any faster? Find us on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. And so, all right, how you doing, Big Dave and Everett? And everyone saying hello in the chat. Here we go. It's Todd Burns, who will become a bigger part of the A's when they would go to the World Series in 89 against the ageless Frank Tanana. We got the new patch for the game, oh, by the way. So let's tell you about Todd Burns. He's 25 years old. Fastball at 88, a ground ball pitcher making his 5th start of the year of 14. He last pitched against the Indians on July 18th, so really on a full rest. 6-5 win against the Indians, 6 2/3, 125 pitches, 11 hits, 5 runs, all earned, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. So 0-2 with a 4.10 ERA. Burns, Oakland really is at the point where Minnesota needs to start losing in bunches, and Oakland starts to need winning in bunches. He's gone 26 1/3, 33 hits, 12 runs. How you doing, Andrew? All earned. He's given up 2 homers, 8 walks, and 21 strikeouts. The Tiger lineup he'll be facing: Gary Pettis leads off in center field. Lou Whitaker is at second and will bat second. Pat Sheridan in left will go third. The double play combination's back. Alan Trammell cleans up at short for the Tigers. Darrell Evans at first will bat fifth. Chet Lemon in right will go sixth. Matt Noakes behind the plate batting seventh. Luis Salazar at third goes eighth, and Dave Bergman is the DH. He'll go ninth. Burnsy, by the way, can go 110 on a good day. That's 8 innings. Is it hot enough for me? Yeah. This year we bought a second air conditioner because we live in a brick building, a 2-bedroom apartment and all that. And so we can either have the living room cool or the bedroom cool, but not both. So we got a note. We got the living room air conditioner in along with the one in here. And it's been, so far, a lot cooler. All right, as we set the A's defense for you, Stan Javier is a 5 and a 3 in left. Dave Henderson a 7 and a 4 in center. Jose Canseco is a 6 and a 9 in right. Carney Lansford is a 4 at third. Walt Weiss an 8 at short. Mike Gallego a 5 at second. Mark McGuire a 7 at first. Harry Steinbach is 7 and a 7 behind the plate, and Burns is a 6 on the mound with a 1,000 fielding percentage. I don't think we hit 90. It rained here this morning, which cooled things off. But if that's the way this summer is going to be, it's, you could dig up Liz Taylor because it's going to be a long, hot summer. So Pettis stepping in at 232, 2 homers and 24 RBI. Burns is ready. Steinbach is ready. Let's do this. Pitch to Pettis is a liner into center field. Henderson's there, 1 out. For Lou Whitaker, Lou only has 130 at-bats left on the year. Hitting .256, 7 homers and 24 RBI. Not that we count at-bats, but that just kind of gives you a general idea. This is Detroit's 94th game of how many starts he has left. Pitch to Whitaker, and he draws the walk. 1 out. Burns walked 34 in 102 2/3 real-life innings. So here's Pat Sheridan. Pat at 250, 10 homers and 41 RBI. Fly ball, right field. Remember, there's acres of foul ground here. Canseco makes the catch by the Pens for the out. And there's 2 away for Trammell. Allen hitting .312, 9 homers, and 45 RBI. Ground ball past Gallego into right center field for a base hit. Will Whitaker go to third? He will. So runners on the corners, 2 out for Darrell Evans. Hitting .224, 11 homers, and 28 RBI. Pitch from Burns. Walked him. This is not what Oakland needed. So here's Lemon. Chet at 288, 17 homers, and 65 RBI. In fact, in that department, he's already exceeded what he did in real life. So the Tigers have the bases loaded, 2 out here in the top of the first. And Todd Burns, who has not pitched all that well. How you doing, Brent? Coming into this, his fifth start of the year, is behind the 8-ball from the get-go. Pitch to Lemon. There's a ground ball to Weiss. Walt goes to Gallego for the easy out. The Tigers lead from loaded. Not a great start for the Tigers. They do get a hit, and that's it. After half an inning, no score. So here's Frank Tanana, 35 years old, fastball pitcher, 85. Again, he's found the Bugs Bunny part of his career, making his 20th start. A's are still in it. Yeah, Legend Sports Universe, how are you? He's got 12 more after this, does Tanana, who's 9-7 with a 3.55 ERA. His last start came against California. A 6-5 win against his old teammates, 7 2/3 on July 17th, so almost a full week's rest. 124 pitches, 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned, a homer. He's walked 1 and struck out 6. Against the Jays on June 17th, he threw a 4-hit shutout and struck out a season-high 10. Overall, for Frank, 139 1/3 innings, 138 hits, 63 runs, 55 of them earned, 13 homers. He's walked 37 and has struck out 93, but a lot of it's by deception, not necessarily the overpowering pitcher he was in the 70s. This will be Oakland's lineup. Stan Javier in left will lead off. Dave Henderson in center will bat second. Jose Canseco in right will go third. Mark McGuire cleans up at first. Carney Lansford will bat fifth at third base. Terry Steinbach behind the plate goes sixth. Don Baylor, the DH, will bat seventh. Gallego at second will go eighth. Walt Weiss at short will bat ninth. Tanana can go the distance. He is a workhorse. Defensively for the Tigers, Pat Sheridan a 4 and a 2 in left. Gary Pettis a 10 and a 4 in center, good buddy. And Chet Lemon a 7 and an 8 in right. Salazar a 3 at third. Trammell an 8 at short. Winnegar an 8 at second. Evans a 4 at first. Noakes a 4 and a 4 behind the plate. And Tanana is a 7 with a 977 fielding percentage. Javier stepping in at 274. 2 triples and 27 RBI. Struck him out. A 2-2 fastball. That would be a changeup for most pitchers, and he got him looking. Are the O's still in the cellar? They had the worst record in baseball. They're going to be in the cellar all year. I will say this, they did not lose their first 23 games to start the season. Dave Henderson at 271, 14 homers, and 56 RBI. Tanana, base hit right center field. That's extra bases. Henderson has 2 of these. Is he going for 3? He is. Trammell throws to third, and the throw to Salazar is not in time, and Dave Henderson has his second triple of the year. So here's Canseco. You call that a win? I would with that team. They're not very good. Canseco hitting .307, 23 homers, and 76 RBI. Tanana, on this cool day on the bay, wipes his brow and delivers and hit him. That's not a very gentlemanly thing to do from Tanana. Got away from him and hit him in the leg. So runners on the corners, 1 out for McGuire, hitting .271, 22 homers, and 72 RBI. Gets away from Noakes, and everybody's moving up 90. So the run will score on the pass ball by Noakes. It just was high, and by the time that Noakes put up the glove, it just hit off it. So 1-0 Oakland, 1 out for McGuire in a 2-1 count. Line drive to Salazar, and Canseco has to go back to the bag. So 2 out for Lansford, hitting .291, 7 homers, and 50 RBI. Popped up, left side, Salazar waits, makes the catch, and that'll do. However, the pass ball leads to an unearned run. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. The A's left on a runner, and after 1, it's Oakland 1, Detroit 0. Practice your coding skills by listening to me go 1 and zeros. There you go. Matt Noakes hitting .303. Isn't that a rifle? 11 homers and 39 RBI. Burns threw 26 pitches in the first. Struck him out. An 0-2 fastball got him swinging. So 1 out for Luis Salazar, hitting .253. 4 triples, a homer, and 25 RBI. Ground ball to Weiss. Walt's got it over to McGuire for the out. So after that rocky first inning, Burns has 2 out and nobody on for Dave Bergman. hitting .256, 2 homers, and 18 RBI. Our dear friend Bernie Strom, by the way, hope he's doing well. He's the king of the draft leagues now. Now, he's got something pretty special going on Saturday that I think is even doubly special. His horse, he is part owner of a thoroughbred, which just happened to win the Preakness 3 weeks ago. Pitch to Bergman. Ground ball right side, base hit. So Bergman will round first and go back. Second hit for the Tigers. Opening 9 for Burns, 34 pitches, inning and 2/3, 9 batters, 2 hits, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Pettis is 0 for 1. So the ownership group, and by the way, trained by, isn't that cool for Bernie? Dwayne Lucas, who is 84 years old himself, is the trainer. They are in the process of renovating Belmont Park. Some of it to have more year-round gambling there, and some of it to accommodate the new Islander Arena that opened up a couple years ago, just to make it more of a destination spot for New York. And so, not only do I have a buddy of mine who's got a horse in the Belmont, it's in my old backyard. It's in Saratoga this year, which is awesome. Completely and utterly awesome to have a Triple Crown race in Saratoga. The racing season in Saratoga is pretty short. It's about 6 weeks, and the Traverse, of course, being the big deal for that. Well, after the season, it's usually when the Triple Crown runners race for the first time after the Triple Crown season. So Bernie's got a horse, and we got a Triple Crown race in Saratoga, and that is awesome. Pitch to Pettis as soon as I hit the button is a fly ball to the left. Javier coming in will make the catch, and that'll do. So not a great start for the Tigers. They get a hit, and they've left on 4. And after an inning and a half, it's 1-0 Oakland. So Steinbach, Baylor, and Gallego to face Sonana here in the second. Yes, good evening, Midlife Crisis. How you doing, John? Saratoga, and Brent, of course, being a huge horse racing fan, is the classic upper crust track. You know, it's not Aqueduct, it's not Belmont. You know, I know that Belmont technically is in Elmont, which I think is in Queens. And I think Aqueduct is in Queens as well. So it's just a summer getaway above the Catskills. And I really, really would love to see, and I don't know if the NYRA would allow them to do it now, especially since they're about to break their Triple Crown cherry with the Belmont up there. That place deserves a Breeders' Cup. Terry Steinbach at 275, 2 homers, and 21 RBI. Yeah, it is a bucket list item for sure, David. Saratoga is amazing during horse racing season. If you like horse racing, you need to go. If you think that all the hats and stuff at Churchill Downs for the Derby gets kind of outdone, I mean, it's a natural thing in Saratoga. Yeah, I mean, the Aqueduct and Belmont have had Breeders' Cups. I don't know how often they bring it back east. Obviously, a November event in northern New York. It's not the warmest thing in the world, but the Horse Racing Hall of Fame is in Saratoga. Pitch to Steinbach is a line drive to left. Sheridan will watch that hook foul, and it's 1-2. Yeah, I believe you're right, Oriole Patrick. Are you from Baltimore? The Baltimore Colts got their name from Pimlico, home of the Preakness. Fly ball left field. Sheridan will make the catch. 1 out for Don. Oh, you're from Virginia. Okay. Don Baylor at 199, 5 homers and 19 RBI. So you are close. And of course, Shinnetig Island is the home of some of the best wild horses in the world. Pitch to Baylor. Struck him out. That's 2 for Tanana. A 1-2 curve. Got him at the knees. So 2 out for Gallego. Hitting 176. No homers and 4 RBI. 1-0 Oakland, by the way, here in the second. Jim Brown says the lady that used to do your wife's nails always goes to the Derby, and she won the award for the biggest hat one year. They are gaudy, aren't they? My parents did Louisville in '86 for the Derby. That was the year that Willie Shoemaker won on Ferdinand. And that was also the year that they beat Duke in the NCAA. So I got a Louisville basketball shirt from that. Pitch to Gallego. Ball 4. Had the worst spring break in history, John did at Chinnatig. Why's that? Inquiring minds want to know. Here's Weiss, walled at 264, 2 triples, and 36 RBI. 2 out, second inning, 1-0 Oakland. In the left center, the crowd likes it. Back goes Pettis to the wall. That's high off the wall. Gallego stopped. He'll round third and score with ease. Weiss has his 12th double, but Gallego stopped on second. So 2-0 Oakland. Opening 9 for Tanana, 43 pitches. Inning in 2/3. Oh, yes. That does ring a bell. Inning in 2/3, 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 1 earned. A walk and 2 strikeouts. So in the chat, Midlife Crisis says, March 1993, ring a bell. The storm of the century, the blizzard of 93. Were you on that island? Wow, that would scar me for life, too. Here's Javier. Stan struck out his first time up. Fly ball, right field. Lemon will make the catch, and that'll do. Oakland puts another run on the board on a hit, no errors. And after 2, it's Oakland 2, Detroit nothing. So Whittaker, Sheridan, and Trammell here in the 3rd. Did I give you Burns' numbers? I think I did. Whittaker walked his first time up. Fly ball, right center field. Back goes Canseco, way back there. It's gone. So the lead now is 1 as Whittaker greets Burns to start the 3rd with a home run. And for Lou, that's his 8th of the year. And we'll show it to you, and then I'll tell you my blizzard story. Larrapin Lou. So, on that weekend, let me read what John said. The day we left to stay with a friend in D.C. Friday night, he woke up to 9 inches of snow, which is a lot for Washington. Drove to the island from there. Why? It rained every day, nonstop, until the day we left, and it was 75 and gorgeous. So, I was a disaster volunteer for the Red Cross in Montpelier. It was my first year on my own. Pat Sheridan, by the way, is 0 for 1. Oh, yeah, you were on the water, so the bay came right to the deck. Yikes. And so we were all set. They were going to open up shelters. I think Montpelier got 17 inches of snow. But we got the wind to go with it. 40, 45, 50 mile an hour. And that just cuts power in storms up here. And so my everlasting memory, it was the second all-nighter I ever pulled. And so the building overlooked, or the office overlooked a city parking lot. Pitch to Sheridan. Fly ball, left field. Back goes Javier, and Stan will track that one down, 1 out. Brings up Alan Trammell, who singled. So, obviously in the city, there's not a heck of a lot of place for snow to go. So about 2:30 that morning, I'm looking out the window. We kept our power in downtown Montpelier. And was watching two snowplows do a dance in a parking lot, trying not to hit each other, trying to get that snow out of there. The person that came to get me up the next morning never in a million years thought that she'd show up. My sister, my youngest sister, stayed with me that weekend. And boy, was I surprised at 7:30 the next morning when the person came to get me up, because I hadn't been to bed. And she kind of had to do it because she drove the 8 miles at the end of the storm. Pitch to Trammell. Ground ball to third. Lansford over to McGuire for the out, and Trammell is retired. 2 out. That person is now the head of Medicaid for the state of Vermont. Got 17 inches in Westchester, Pennsylvania. A friend from Delaware was stranded the whole week by herself. The island, dry. Couldn't get... Oh, that kind of dry. Oh, my goodness, really? You couldn't get a beer without filling out a form to give to the cops. We were so much older then. We're younger than that now, John. Darrell Evans walked his first time up. Fly ball right center. Henderson moving over. Will make the catch, and that will retire the side after 2.5. Solo homer from Whitaker, the lone hit. It's Oakland 2, Detroit 1. So Henderson, Canseco, and McGuire to face Tanana here in the third. Oriole Patrick, my father was an air traffic controller at what is now Reagan. So I lived near Baltimore, and your father first took me to see an Orioles game at 5 years old. What year was that? Andrew says, love Shinnetig. Went there for the first time in 92. Going next year for the first time since 2014. A quick 10-hour drive. John said the police cruiser sat in our cul-de-sac every night all week. It was awful. We had more fun staying in Westchester and drinking all week. We wanted to kill our friend who came up with the idea of dry. Yeah. I turned 21 at Bet November before. It's the last place I want to be is a dry town. 1970. Okay. You had no idea it was a dry island. Not dry anymore. That was a good year for the O's, you think? Yeah, yeah. Henderson tripled his first time up. He's going to get extra bases again, at least. Sheridan has to go get that. Henderson around first with ease. It bounces off the wall. Henderson slides in the bag at second, and that is his 15th double. So Henderson has the hard part of the cycle down. That's the third hit for the A's, and Henderson has 2. Jose Canseco was hit by a pitch his first time up. So 2-1 Oakland, no one out here in the third. Tanana deals. Canseco ground ball past Whitaker for a base hit. Henderson will hold at third. And with McGuire coming up, Oakland loaded for bear now. Runners on the corners, and they're up 2-1. Nobody out. Tanana deals. McGuire in the left. Sheridan. Does he get there? Yes. Henderson will tag and score without a throw. So McGuire will make the sac fly, and it's 3-1 Oakland. Mr. Gardner rooting for the Tigers. Carney Lansford is 0 for 1. So runner on first, 1 out. Throw to first, and Canseco is back. I can't see the steal percentage. We'll send him anyway. Noakes throws down to Whitaker. Canseco slides, and they got him. He had a 70% chance to steal, and Canseco just got a late jump. Noakes has a below-average arm, and that time it all worked for the Tigers. So a 1-ball count to Lansford. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Vitamin B12. Patrick, vitamin B12. We don't do steroids. It's all vitamin B12. So to continue with John's crisis at Shinnetig, had nothing to do with the snow. It's the fact that he couldn't drink. We had to order through a restaurant, and the store down the street wouldn't sell us more than 4 12-packs at a time in a 20. How old were you, John? There was 8 of you. Yeah. RJL, how you doing? And since the Tigers are related to your Florida Panthers who are playing for the Cup, go Cats. Okay, yeah, you weren't much older than I was, John. Usually when you see stories about mass amounts of alcohol, you're under the age of 30. How you do? You were all 21. Sure you were. How you doing, Swedish Chef? So here's Lansford. Fly ball left field. Sheridan coming in. Makes the catch, and that'll do. Oakland gets a run, however, on 2 hits and no errors. We go to the 4th. We've been awful chatty. It's 3-1 Oakland. RJO was 18 and 88, so he was legal. He could have helped you with that keg and Chinity. Jim Brown says, it's not steroids. Have you seen her forearms? They're swollen like Popeyes. It was the spinach. Sure it was. Lemon's 0 for 1. So you were 19 on the 23rd of July, 1988. Pitched to Lemon, who's 0 for 1. Line drive to Weiss, 1 out. And Todd Burns is injured. That's not what you want. He's done. He immediately pointed to his shoulder, and they got to take him out. So we're going to go with Gene Nelson. Who has all the time he needs to warm up. He's making his 34th appearance. He's 2-4, 2.94 ERA, 28 years old, fastball at 89, and a ground ball pitcher. He went 6 innings against Cleveland on July 19th. 81 pitches, 2 hits. That was a start. He walked 1 and struck out 2. So 85 2/3, 72 hits, 33 runs, 28 earned, 5 homers. He's walked 35 and struck out 54. And he might be able to go 5 innings. There's one out here in the 4th for Noakes, who's 0 for 1. You don't ever want to see an injury like that. Let's see. Yeah, Frank Tanana, we all try to forget that Tanana pitched for the Red Sox in 81. Pitch to Noakes. Ground ball foul, third base side, and they'll take it to the local driving range because that's how much room there is there. 0-2 the count to Noakes. Up the middle, Weiss behind the bag of second over to McGuire, and that is an out. So 2 out for Salazar, who is 0 for 1. Ground ball past Weiss for a base hit. So the Tigers have had their chances. That's their 4th hit. They left them loaded in the 1st, which is what Midlife Crisis wanted to do on Chinnitig. Dave Bergman singled his first time up. Up the middle, Weiss has it. Takes it to the bag himself at second, and that will do it. So another hit for the Tigers, and they've left on 5 after 3.5. It's Oakland 3, Detroit 1. So here are the standings. The Mets 9 up on the Pirates. In the West, the Dodgers a half game up on the Reds. And the American League East, look, there's 4 games in the win column separating 1st and 5th. At the moment, the Red Sox 2.5 over Toronto, 3.5 over the Yankees and the Tigers, and 5 ahead of Milwaukee. Minnesota still has the best record in baseball. Their lead over Oakland has been cut to 7.5. It's still a pretty safe lead. And in games of Friday's games, Oakland beat Detroit 2-1, and that's right, Minnesota. It was Baltimore beating Minnesota, and the Braves, who are now 32 and 62, sweeping Dwight Gooden and David Cohn in a doubleheader. we have the defibrillator machine for RJL after that. Here's Steinbach. He's 0 for 1. Steinbach, Baylor, and Gallego. Here in the fourth, Terry into left center. Pettis goes back, tracks it down, makes the catch, 1 out. I think Gene Nelson had 1 start for Oakland, which gives him the extended rating for pitch count. Don Baylor struck out his first time up. You would have won some serious money if you'd have taken Atlanta in that doubleheader to beat both Gooden and Cone. Fly ball left field. Back goes Sheridan to the wall, and Pat will track it down, and there's 2 out for Gallego, who walked and scored his first time up. Think of it this way, Patrick. The next year, the Orioles take the Blue Jays down to the last weekend of the season. Pitch to Gallego. Struck him out. That's 3 for Tanana, and that'll do it. A's go in order after 4. It's 3-1 Oakland. I think having Frank Robinson, one of the more unappreciated managers of all time, changed the fortune. Gary Pettis is 0 for 2. Pettis, Whitaker, and Sheridan here in the 5th. Nelson in for the injured Todd Burns. Gary slaps one to the mound. Nelson throws to first for the out, 1 away. So here's Lou Whitaker. He homered in the 3rd. He now has 8 on a year and 25. Our friend Patrick wants to start a written replay. I think you're doing this on Delphi, right? What advice would you give someone who wanted to do a written replay? Ground ball left side, base hit. I think he's doing the new primetime basketball from Play. Just so you know. So what advice would you guys give? Here's Pat Sheridan. He's 0 for 2. Whitaker should have gone. That's a ground ball to McGuire. That's a bunt. So Sheridan bunted, throws it to Gallego, and Whitaker goes to second on the sacrifice. Wow. A 2-out bunt. You don't see that very often from the AI. Goes 3-4 on the card. Here's Trammell, who singled his first time up. So Whitaker on second. 3-1 A's with 2 out here in the 5th. Pitch to Trammell. Fly ball, right center. Henderson will be there. You're going to get a commercial halfway home. Think about this for a second. Oakland 3, Detroit 1. No, Nelson's start was before RJ. He didn't start this one. Todd Burns did. All right, join us late. Here's how we got here. 3-1 A's in the 5th. Detroit loaded the bases in the 1st and could not score. In the bottom of the 1st, Dave Henderson scored on a pass ball by Matt Noakes to make it 1-0. In the 2nd, Walt Weiss doubled home Gallego to make it 2-0. Lou Whitaker cut the lead in half on a bomb into right center, his 8th of the year, to make it 2-1. And then Mark McGuire hit a sac fly in the 3rd to make it 3-1. So Frank Tanana, 4 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Burns, before he got hurt, 3 1/3, 3 hits. The home run to Whitaker, being the lone run he walked 2 and struck out 1, and Nelson has gone an inning and 2/3 with 2 hits. So Weiss, Javier, and Henderson to face Tanana here in the 5th. Walt doubled home a run. Struck out. He chased a 2-2 curve. So 18 batters deep for Tanana. 78 pitches, 4 1/3, 4 hits, a walk, and 4 strikeouts, only 2 of the 3 runs are earned. Javier is 0 for 2 with the K. Yeah, I believe so. No, if you do as played, it'll give you the real life lineups on a given day in real life rosters. And Brent agrees that Whittaker should be in the Hall. For the written replay, Everett says, my first thought is to focus on something you really like about the replay and write most about that. That's good advice. Javier is 0 for 2 with a K. Lines this one to Evans. And Darrell makes a diving stab to end the inning. And at 41 years old, there's 2 out now. He's going to get a smoothie for that from AARP. Good job. Darrell's range, not great, but he's also 41. Here's Hendu. Hendu has a double and a triple. Has scored twice. Tanana's pitch, 2 out here. And that's down the line. That's his 3rd extra base hit of the ball game. So Hendu is going to have a double, I would think. Yep, number 16. He's torn the cover off the ball. That's a productive day. Of the 5 hits Oakland has, Henderson has 3. And they're all extra bases. Nothing cheap about any of them. Here's Canseco. He's been hit by a pitch and single. Oh, bye. Yeah, Tanana in the 70s I threw in the 90s. In the 90s I threw in the 70s. He might get 2 more cracks at this. We're in the 5th. Canseco draws the walk. So first and second, 2 out for McGuire. Who, remember, it's, how you doing, John Alexander? It's spinach. It's all spinach. Noakes goes out to have a word with Tanana, and McGuire dribbles one down to third. Salazar picks it up, throws to first. McGuire can still run, and he is out on a bang-banger. So Tanana gets out of it. No runs, a hit, no errors. A's have stranded 4, and after 5, it's 3-1 to Oakland. So Evans, who made the diving stop in the bottom of the 5th, Lemon and Noakes. Nelson's pitch to Evans. There's a ground ball to McGuire over to Nelson. 1 out. The computer was using Nelson as a closer until I had to remind it that you've got Dennis Eckersley. Chet Lemon is 0 for 2. Tanana pitched 20 years, and he was a pretty solid ERA of 3.6 something, and at over 2,700 Ks. Yep. Pitched a long time. This was the Rangers, too, wasn't he? Pitched to Lemon. Fly ball left field. Javier races in the corner, makes the catch. 2 out for Noakes, who's 0 for 2 with a K. The other thing about Tanana was, Tiger Stadium and Anaheim Stadium fit him well because he was a fly ball pitcher, which is one of the reasons why his year at Fenway didn't go all that well, especially in the early 80s, because you could reach out and touch that green monster out in left field from the mound. Pitch to Noakes. Ground ball right side, base hit. So Noakes around first and will hold. 6 hit for the Tigers. Here's Salazar. Louis was 1 for 2 with a single. Angels for Tanana. 3.66. Yep. In the late 70s, you had the duo of Tanana and Nolan Ryan. Good luck trying to swing through that. Pitch to Salazar. There's a fly ball to left. Javier over in the corner, but that's a souvenir. And it's 1-2. Danny Darwin pitched for Texas. The 1-2. Ground ball to Weiss. And does he make a play? That should have been a double play ball. He made an error. It didn't blink at me. So Weiss thought he was going to get it out somewhere, and instead, I think he was looking at second and didn't realize they didn't have the glove. He went to throw it, and it wasn't in his hand. So the Tigers catch a break for Dave Bergman, who's 1 for 2. He's got a single. So first and second, 2 out. And for Weiss, that's his 12th error of the year. Hi there, Pesky Pole. How are you? Nasty duo. Yep. Pitch to Bergman. Right center. Henderson goes back, but should make the catch. He does. So in the end, it didn't matter. Gene Nelson kind of shakes his head. Tigers get a hit. Oakland makes an error. Detroit's left on 8, and it's 3-1 Oakland after 6, or mid-6. So it'll be Lansford, Steinbach, and Baylor to face the ageless Tadana here in the 6th. Carney's 0 for 2. Pesky Pole's doing some 86 baseball as you listen. Ground ball to Whittaker by the bag at second, over to first for the out. So here's Steinbach. Terry is 0 for 2. Ground ball past Trammell for a base hit. Allen made a poor play. We won't talk about it. He's made 31 great plays and 13 poor plays in 75 games. Not too shabby. Only the 6th hit for the A's. Here's Baylor. Don is 0 for 2 with a K. Oh, absolutely, Carney Lansford was underrated. He went from California and played on some of those bad teams before they got good in 79. Went over to the Red Sox and was displaced because they had somebody by the name of Boggs. Ever heard of him? Ready to go. In fact, in 83, Lansford's last year in Boston, Boggs played first, I believe, and you'll back me up, you'll tell me if I'm wrong, that the Lansford deal got Tony Armas. Pitch to Baylor. Walked him. So first and second now for Oakland with 1 out. For Gallego, who is walked, struck out, scored and is 0 for 1. Struck him out. That's 5 for Tanana. He chased a fastball in air quotes at 77 miles an hour. So here's Weiss, 2 out. He's got himself a double and a strikeout. He's also drove in a run. So it was 83. So it must have been 82 where Boggs was at first. And Armas came over. But yeah, it was Wade Boggs who chased Carney Lansford out of town. I think the Red Sox made the right decision. Weiss in the right center. Pettis will come in and make the catch, and Oakland gets nothing out of that. No runs, 1 hit. They leave on 2, and after 6, it's Oakland 3, Detroit 1. Yeah, Tanana had a nasty 12-6 curveball. You can throw slow as long as it moves. Here's Gary Pettis. He's 0 for 3. Nelson in relief of an injured Todd Burns as we start the 7th. Pitch to Gary. Slow ground ball. Gallego in on the grass. Throws to McGuire for the out. So 1 out for Whittaker. Lou homered in the 3rd, the lone Tiger run. He now has driven in 25 and hit 8. He's also singled and walked. The combination of Burns and Nelson haven't retired him yet. Adirondack Gus. The Boggs was up and down at 82 and played a lot of first base. Yeah, I remember that. Let me guess. Don Baylor and Bobby Grich. Adirondack Gus, good evening. Happy to report that you finished your 68 season replay. Congratulations. You're a fan of the Dodgers and the Red Sox, and they both... I don't have glasses on. And they both fired you. Tigers beat the Giants 4-2 in that series. Jeff was playing the Reds and the Braves in your 81 Apple replay. Braves took 2 out of 3. They're about to get real good. I think next up will be 76 or 86 for Action PC, says Action Gus. Adirondack Gus. That's awesome. You do get the parting gift, however. Some Dodger dogs and some Narragansett. Pitch to Whitaker. There's a liner in the right and foul. McGuire can't get there. And the count is full. So 68 degrees. Wind's blowing right to left now at 11. Lou grounds one to Gallego over to first for the out. So 2 out for Sheridan. Pat is 0 for 2. Fly ball, right field. Canseco. Stretch time. 3-1 Oakland. Don't burn yourself out, Jeff, doing it. Gus, did you do both teams all 162? That's a tough year. The Red Sox caught lightning in a bottle in 68, and that's Drysdale's year, of course. Javier is 0 for 3 with a K. Tanana, 27 batters, 123 pitches, 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs. He's walked 3 and struck out 5. Up the middle for a base hit. So Javier is on to start the 7th. So here's Henderson. Now, if he homers here and doesn't single, then yes, he should have stopped it for the cycle. He is 3 for 3. He has 2 doubles and a triple. I feel like we're playing Joker's Wild here. Tanana at the end of his day. Javier on first. Stan is back. We're going to steal. Noakes will throw down into second, and Javier has his 15th swipe of the year. So Javier in scoring position. And Henderson, he's got a grin, a 50,000-watt smile. Pitch to hit, and that'll do it for Tanana. Got a pitching change. This game coming to you from Oakland Alameda Coliseum in Oakland, California. So Paul Gibson is making his 22nd appearance. He's 3-2, a 1.45 ERA. He's 28 years old, fastball at 88, and a standard pitcher. He last pitched before the break in Detroit against these A's, July 9th. In a 4-3 loss. In fact, the Tigers haven't won a game he's pitched in since June 18th. He went 1 inning then, 18 pitches, 2 hits, and a strikeout. He wouldn't have been on the DL, there's just not enough time. 37 and a third innings, 25 hits, 8 runs, 6 earned, 9 walks, and 18 strikeouts. 3-2, 3 saves, and a 1.45 ERA. First and second, nobody out for Canseco, who's been hit by a pitch, walked, and singled 1 for 1. Gibson deals, fly ball, left center. Pettis will make the catch. In shallow left center, Javier will hold as the throw goes to third, 1 out. Yep, 162 is a big deal indeed. $154. You created 2 leagues using Action PC. Cool. Picked 1 good team from each franchise and 1 awful team from each franchise. 53 Dodgers, who you got to the World Series and lost to the 1911 A's. Okay. Do I use real-life relievers? No. Because the computer doesn't use real-life relievers. Because I parachute in, and Gus, between different cities, so I have to go with what the computer has left me to do. The starters are as played, and the rosters are real, but beyond that, you have to go with who the computer leaves you for fresh. McGuire, by the way, is 0 for 2 with an RBI. Javier on second, Henderson on first, one out here in the seventh. 3-1 Oakland. Fly ball left field. Back goes Sheridan. That's a line drive, laser shot. That's gone. That just missed the pole in fair territory, and McGuire has cracked this open. His 23rd of the year. He's now driven in 76. And Oakland is giving the American League notice that they are back. How you doing, Steve Tate? And a big back attack for sure. And as always, it's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's. So here's Lansford. Carney's 0 for 3. And he walked, so Gibson has not pitched that well. Here's Steinbach, 1 for 3 with a single. Gibson, the 3-run shot, a walk and a hit. 6-1 Oakland. 1 out here in the 7th. There's a base hit in the right center field. Lemon will pick it up. And Lansford will hold it second. So Gibson's got none stuff today. So here's Don Baylor. He's walked, struck out. He's 0 for 2. Yes, the spinach paid off, yeah. Chewing some spinaches. As I eat my spinach, I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. Toot, toot. There. Pitch to Baylor. Popped up. Whittaker waits for it. Infield fly is called. Makes the grab. 2 out. So here's Gallego. Mike has struck out twice and walked. And scored. He's 0 for 2. In 10 years, McGuire will be wasting away in St. Louis and no one will pay attention to him, except for what's in his locker. All right, Everett, have a good night. I'm guessing tomorrow night for Twitch. I think I have a meeting tomorrow morning at 11:30. Pitch to Gallego. Struck him out. Gibson gets out of it. Gallego takes the collar. However, Mark McGuire's mammoth home run, 3 runs, 3 hits, and no errors. We go to the 8th at 6-1 Oakland. So Trammell, Evans, and Lemon to face Nelson here in the 8th. 6-9-1 for Oakland. They've left on 8. 1-6-0 for the Tigers, and they've left on 8. Struck him out. First for Nelson, a 1-2 curve, chased. Brings up Darrell Evans, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. In 10 years, McGuire will have more home runs than the 88 Cardinals as a team did combined. They had some 88 Cardinals. We had them on. They had some power. 85, I don't think they hit 70. Ground ball to first. McGuire, his ears must be buzzing, goes to the bag for the out. 2 out for Lemon, who's 0 for 3. Right field. Canseco will make the catch, and that'll do. So the Tigers go in order. Gene Nelson doing yeoman's work after the injury to Todd Burns. No runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom 8, 6-1 Oakland. So Weiss, Javier, and Henderson to face Gibson. Walt, 1 for 3, has struck out, doubled, and driven in a run. To Gibson, first base side of the rubber, throws to first, 1 out. Pesky Pole is replaying the 80 NBA Finals. You doing that in replay? Yeah, Patrick, in 1927, Babe Ruth out-homered the rest of the league. And Gehrig, I think, did most of those teams too. Stan Javier is 1 for 4. Got himself a single, a strikeout, a stolen base, and a run scored. 80 would be L.A. and Philly. Javier, base hit left side. Sheridan throws it in. Stands going for 2. The throw to Whitaker. Not in time. That's 9 for Javier. In the clincher that year, in Game 6 of the 80 finals, was the game that Magic played center. He played for an injured Kareem. Wow, 80. Then I'm wrong. The 88 Cardinals had 71 home runs as a team. That's nuts. Here's Henderson, so he gets one more chance at this. He won't go for the cycle. They haven't retired him. He's doubled twice, tripled, and walked. Yet Dr. J versus Kareem. The Lakers have some rookie by the name of Magic. Wonder who that is. Henderson rips this one down the line, and he's going to have at least his 3rd double. Javier is going to score. Henderson will stop at second. Salazar should have had that. Have yourself a day, Dave Henderson. That's his 3rd double. And it's 7-1 Oakland. Yeah, 80-81 was Houston, and so was 85-86. So here's Canseco. Jose 1 for 2. He has singled and walked. 79-80 was also the first year of the three-point line in the NBA. Fly ball, left field. Sheridan makes the catch for the out. Gus at 12 enjoyed that series. Jeff was a 76ers fan. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Dr. J went to every Laker in the locker room and congratulated them. I think he did that too after Portland beat him in 77. Here's McGuire. Mark has driven in 4 today. He's 76 and has hit his 23rd. He's 1 for 3. 2 out, Hendo on second. McGuire strikes out. So Gibson fans another on a 1-2 fastball. And this one has all the suspense, of an episode of Murder, She Wrote. 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors. We go to the 9th. Detroit needs 6 to tie and 7 to go ahead. So Nelson will stay in. He's gone 4 2/3. 3 hits and a K. Noakes is 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out. Salazar and Bergman to follow here. Ground ball to Gallego. Over to McGuire. 1 out. So here's Salazar, who's 1 for 3. They'll be liking this in the rest of the American League East. And Jim Whalewander is going to pinch hit. Jim is a pinch hitter, 118 with 2 RBI, and that's better than his real-life numbers of 116 with 3 RBI. Nelson's pitch. Slow chopper over the mound. Weiss has it. Throws to McGuire. And we're down to last chance saloon for Dave Bergman, who's 1 for 3. Who do I have in the NBA Finals? I live in New England. Go Celtics. Dave Little here at the end. Yeah, Winning Time took some liberties with the Showtime Lakers. Bergman 1 for 3 with a single. Ground ball to Weiss, and Oakland made this one look pretty easy. A final score here. Oakland 7, Detroit 1. So 3 hours and 27 fake minutes. Oakland 7 runs, 11 hits, and an error. They go to 57 and 41. They leave on 9. Detroit 1 run, 6 hits, and no errors. And they left on 8. So Gene Nelson, 5 2/3 of injury relief, 3-hitter, and struck out 1. What a job for him. He only had 75 pitches, too. Tanana falls to 9 and 8, 6 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, walking 4 and striking out 5. And Gibson was a chew toy. Dave Henderson's going to be your Digital and Ice MVP. 4 for 4, 3 runs, an RBI, 3 doubles, a triple, and a walk. Not bad. Not bad at all. So for the moment, Oakland is 7 back and Detroit is 4 back. Now the rest of this Saturday the 23rd, Cincinnati beats Montreal 6-1. Rio goes to 8-2. Bryn Smith falls to 6-8. Eric Davis is 19th. He goes 2 for 4 and drives in 3. Chicago beats the Red Sox. We don't want to talk about that. Dave LaPointe from Glens Falls, New York, 8-7. Steph Curry? No. 0-1. Steve Lyons for the White Sox, 3 for 4 with a double. After getting swept yesterday, the Mets beat the Braves 4-0 behind Bobby Ojida's fine effort. He strikes out 5. I think that was John Smoltz's first game. I was supposed to do that one for him. Somebody. Wally Backman 1 for 2, a stolen base and 3 walks. Giants beat the Cardinals 5-4 in St. Louis. Adley Hammaker 4-1. Bob Forsch 4-3. Jose Akendo, speaking of home runs, it's the second, goes 3 for 4. Dodgers beat the Pirates 5-3. Brian Holton 4-4. Kipper 1-3. Andy Van Slyke hits his 16th, goes 3 for 4 with a steal. Milwaukee downs Texas 5-1. Birkbeck 2-5. Bobby Witt 4-5. Pete Incaviglia 2 for 3 with a double. Padres double up the Cubs. Day game, that was not a night game. Andy Hawkins 8-8. Poor Calvin Chiraldi's 2-11. Law 3 for 5, 6 of the year, and drives in 2. Astros beat the Phils 5-4. Meads 2-1. Kent DeColvey falls to 4-2. And Robbie Thompson 2 for 3, is 4th and drives in 2. In 10, the Royals beat the Yankees 6-5. Jerry Don Gleaton goes to 3-0. Cecilia Guante 4-3. Willie Wilson 2 for 5, a triple, a double, and a stolen base. Twins get a shutout from Bert Blyleven, which is amazing since his ERA was close to 6. He goes at 9-8. Peraza 2-2 as they beat the O's 2-0. Kent Herbeck hits his 16th, goes 2 for 3. Toronto, despite 16 hits from Seattle, beats the Mariners 13-6. Musselman 1-0. Trout 1-4. Cecil Fielder 3 for 5, hits his 5th and drives in 4. And Chuck Finley shuts down the Indians 4-0. He strikes out 10 over 8, allows 3 hits, goes to 7-5. Scotty Bales 4-11. Chili Davis 2 for 3, is 14th and drives in 3. Yeah, Minnesota is something special. What do we got tomorrow? I think we're going for the night. Oh, is that what that was? Calvin Chiraldi's best contribution to the Cubs was giving Mitch Williams the name Wild Thing. I think we're going on tomorrow night, and it is Toronto and Minnesota on Twitch, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. The early bird game next. Oh, we got a doubleheader for you Monday. Milwaukee and Boston. How about that? And the YouTube game of the week will be Milwaukee and Boston. That's a big series, and it's Teddy Aguirre and Roger Clemens. All right. Hey, thank you so much for watching. As always, we will see you tomorrow, I think, on Twitch. If it changes, check the Facebook group. We'll let you know. Have a good night, everybody. So long.